broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everybody. You are watching and listening to AFTERBUZZ TV's The Concert Experience. I'm Jason Ikeler. Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and if you want to participate in the conversation today, we're using the hashtag Concert Experience because we have two very special guests from Smoke Season. Please welcome Gabrielle and Jason. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, we want to get to know all about you, so before we talk about music, I'm just going to ask you a list of really stupid questions. They're not that dumb, but just say whatever pops in your head. First concert you ever went to?
You go first.
It was Blind Melon.
Wow, that's a cool one.
At Roseland in New York City.
Oh, see, mine's Baha Man. It's like way more embarrassing.
Wait, is that the like...
Who let the dogs out?
Who did let the dogs out?
I don't think they ever found out.
They never know.
Mine was Lilith Fair.
Oh.
And it was in Hartford, Connecticut. Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
See. Got some street cred. Okay. Yeah. Last time you lied.
Just then about Lilith
Just
Fair.
that.
I'm just kidding. No, actually, I did go to Lilith Fair. Probably... I told a friend that they had a great outfit on yesterday.
Oh. That's tough. You never know.
I don't know. I'm like Abraham Lincoln. I never tell a lie. So.
Oh, really? You're perfect.
Yeah.
That was a lie.
That was a lie. I just told a lie.
Damn it. Last song you downloaded.
Our Own? Does that count?
Yeah.
Our Own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
It's hard with Spotify. It's just they don't download as much anymore.
It's true.
No, yeah. Our producers just sent us like new roughs of some new songs we're working on, and so literally we had to download them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That counts.
Yeah, that does count.
Yeah.
Is it weird? I don't think I would like listening to myself. Is that hard to do?
After we finish a song, I hate it. And I'll like never listen to our songs again. But like when we're in the process of producing something, I will literally listen to it nonstop because I'm like, that needs to be turned down. That needs to be turned down.
Scrutinizing it.
Yeah. And then you never touch it again.
Just leave it. Okay. Yeah. Favorite app?
You go first.
Favorite app? I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, what is my favorite app? I don't know.
What is my
Instagram,
favorite?
I guess.
Oh, that's good.
Such like cliche, but I like
Boy.
Instagram because it's just quick, like just pictures. It's kind of.
LastPass.
Oh, what is that?
It's a password saving app. So you can have all of your passwords
that's really
on the
smart.
internet and on your phone, and it stores all of them. Like, and you just log into the app, and you're like, oh yeah, well, what was my password for that?
Oh, that's really smart.
I know.
I need to get that. Worst habit?
I twiddle my thumbs when I'm thinking.
Okay.
And like when I'm like trying to text someone, I'll like twiddle my thumbs and like think about like, what am I going to text?
Be like, is she actually texting?
Yeah, like it's odd.
crazy.
It's an odd habit.
I don't know. What is my worst habit? I don't even know. I guess maybe sometime just lateness, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Tardiness.
Oh yeah.
Being tardy.
She's like, let me tell you. Okay,
Yeah.
song you wish you'd written.
Ooh. I really like Electric Love by Borns.
Oh, that's good.
That is a new classic, man. That's a great song.
Maybe Glass Animals, Black Mambo.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great one, too.
So how did you guys end up coming together? Because you've both been doing your own separate things in the music industry.
Yeah, coincidentally, we were sharing the same rehearsal space.
Okay.
Like, bands do that in LA. We share the same rehearsal spaces. And then we just started jamming one night after a rehearsal, and that's how our first single was born. We literally wrote our first single accidentally the first time we ever jammed.
Yeah, it's just like I started playing a riff, and then she's like, "Oh, here's some chords," and then before you know it, we had a song in our hands.
So then after that, do you decide like, oh, let's form a band and do that? Or is it because you're both doing other projects too?
Yeah, it started as a side project, and then it was like everyone was so much more enthusiastic about this, and it was so much easier to write like together.
Yeah.
So it became our, like, the side projects all like rolled into this project.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And when you guys first got together, because I know when you like enter a new band, it's like entering a relationship where it's like, is this long term? Are we just going to do one EP? Did you guys sit down and talk about that? Like, we want to make this everything, or?
It all just kind of fell into place. I mean, it was cool because, you know, building a band from the beginning, from the first inception of it, we got to really, you know, choose everything from choosing the name, making sure, all right, is this the right name, and the branding and how we wanted to, like, represent ourselves. So it was cool. We really had a big part in it, you know, right from the inception of how we wanted to do things.
Yeah, and we actually recorded our first EP in our studio ourselves. We produced it.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was totally like a basement project.
Yeah.
And then it was like not a basement project. And then it's like all of a sudden like we're now starting our third EP and we're like, well shit, this is definitely not a basement project anymore.
This is serious.
Yeah.
And you guys are sort of like LA famous. Like, anybody who's in the music scene in LA knows who you guys are. You sold out your residency at Echoplex already.
I hope. I mean, that says.
Is that, how would you say that's shaped your sound? Because there is a big, like, Silver Lake music scene and all that.
Well, first of all, the reason why it's awesome to be a band in LA is because it's truly like everyone that lives like in the areas we live and like plays the areas we play, like everyone is about art, you know? So like there's so much art being created that you're like accidentally being inspired by all of your peers. It's just everyone is doing art, so it's this little LA renaissance that's going on. So that's an amazing thing to be a part of. But apart from that, Jason and I are both East Coasters, and so we had like our own little personal manifest destiny coming out to LA.
That's cool.
And like if you hear our music, it has that like psychedelic, like kind of a sense of adventure that I feel like the West Coast really has and embodies that, and the East Coast is like a bit less like of the Purple Mountains majesty, like smoky, like Rocky Mountain kind of feel. And I think like that, realizing that in our lives, in our own transition to the West Coast, like really inspired our writing.
That's cool. So Bees is the new single. Talk to me about that. AFTERBUZZ, this is
so
perfect.
Yeah, that was we recorded, so that was a song that kind of came about, and it was cool because we were playing it with our live band, and it really sort of like took shape over that time period. And then when we went to the studio, it was pretty like well formulated, when we went in and did it, and then we recorded a video.
Yeah. Bees is really about like the LA dating scene. It's kind of like our take on it. Like everybody is like skating along the top of emotional commitments, but like not quite ready to dive in.
It's so true.
So I don't know if it's our generation or it's more just like the LA dating scene. So
it is. Nobody wants to commit.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is going to be part of a new EP or LP?
Well, we're actually separately working on a new EP.
Oh, okay.
Bees was like more of, it was the crowd's favorite every time we would play live, so we wanted to make, like, our thing is like we always want to create content. So we had this song, we're like, let's tie you guys over until we have our EP ready.
Okay. And do you think, because you have 2 EPs, do you see yourself doing an LP, or is it just a bunch of random EPs sort of the route you're going? How does that work?
EPs kind of make sense. I feel like a lot of people have sort of ADD generation, so EPs are easily digestible, but we also kind of think in spurts of, I think, clusters of songs, so it kind of makes sense to do 3 or 4 songs at a time.
That's cool.
Yeah, like this next EP right now at the moment, it's probably going to be 4 songs. It's kind of like a mixtape, like you have a lot more freedom when you're making an EP, and it's like you can pay attention to like every single song, like whereas if you're making a full album, maybe it would take years to pay the amount of attention to every song that like every song is taking like months, I have ADD, so
that's perfect.
I like the EP structure. Maybe we'll just drop mixtapes for the rest of our career.
That's cool. So before you get into the studio, how much of it is already written, or do you do a lot of writing while you're in the studio?
Usually it's all written.
Okay.
But we lately, like, we went into this EP, one song in particular was not written yet.
Okay.
Like, it was written, like, we had most of the words, but we wanted to kind of have, like, a let go of the reins moment. We have these incredible producers who have just incredible ears, and we really want to, like, absorb their vibes and their direction. So 3 of the 4 songs were already written, but then one of them, like, was kind of like our guinea pig. So, like, the lyrics, we figured them out in the vocal booth as we were recording it. Like, we figured out all the guitar parts, like, in the studio as we were recording them. And so that will be, like, our little experiment song.
Is that hard to let other people come in and sort of guide you and do what you want, because you both can produce?
It takes a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Definitely. And, these producers we worked with on our last EP, so through that process as well, we really, built a lot of trust with them, and they have great ideas, and it's very collaborative, so it's fun.
And especially because, like, we can produce as well, so we know what, like, we'll say, I really am feeling like this kind of, like, EQ on my voice, like this effect, and then he'll be like, that's a good idea, but, like, let's take it a step further because I can do this.
Okay.
And it's great. I mean, like, he is like 9 miles ahead of us in terms of skill.
He's a sonic wizard, I would say.
Yeah, he's our wizard.
That's cool.
So.
But yeah, it's a benefit to let go of the reins.
Do you have do you have videos planned out for the rest of the songs on the EP, or is it kind of
we have top secret?
Go to? Okay.
So it's funny that you asked that because we'll leave it at this. It's become clear that our fans and people really enjoy our videos.
Yeah.
Probably, like, the most artistic. They like that art that we make, the videos. So we're hearing that, and we're going to release our next EP very untraditionally, and that's all we'll say.
Okay. You're going to, like, Beyonce it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything.
Plead the fifth.
So you guys have 3 million plays on Spotify. I want to talk to you about everything. I don't know if you heard, Taylor Swift wrote this open letter to Apple today saying, so basically they're streaming their music, but they're not going to pay artists for the first 3 months.
Okay.
So she's saying, like, artists deserve to be played. You can't have any of my music for the first 3 months. What are your thoughts on that? Because you're a smaller band who's probably needing to make money off of places like Spotify and Apple.
Well, we are a smaller band, but we have been fortunate to get a couple million plays, and that translates into real dollars for us. I mean, like, if we're gonna be 100% honest, like, I understand Taylor Swift's, like, entire breakdown back in the fall about, like, Spotify profits for artists, but the thing is that, like, our 3 million plays pays the bills a lot of the time. Like, Spotify is very good to us and very good, and we have pretty much, like, I would say, like, the lowest percentage that we could get out of, like, each play.
Yeah.
So it is possible to make money off Spotify. Like, we're your living, breathing examples. And so I don't know how much money she was losing, but it must have been already in the millions that she would have made. So, I mean, when you're dealing with that amount of money, you can't really... It's a whole nother ballpark.
So is it hard? Because I can imagine you're probably making lots of money off of your live shows and stuff. Do you, as a means to, like, an income, do you approach it differently? Because I feel like back in the day it used to be like you just make money off of albums, but now you have to do everything.
I think that we make, like, quite bluntly, like, we have the most plays on Spotify. We make the most money off Spotify. We do tour a lot, but touring is expensive. So a lot of times, like, a great band, a great tour, like, you might break even. But touring is invaluable because that's where, like, you really make your fans. Yeah. Like, we have, like, some incredible fans that, like, have been with us since the beginning, but, like, really when we get to see them in person, that's, like, when we feel like they'll be our fans.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, they're special. But so they bring different values to the table. But in terms of money, like, you definitely have to be, like, jack of all trades.
Yeah, diversify. Yeah. And you can't just do one thing. You have to sort of do a lot of different facets of things. So.
And you went to school for music management?
I went to school for, like, music and management.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
How much of that would you say has impacted how you approach your career?
A lot.
A lot.
We were actually just having a funny conversation with our publicist about, like, letting go of the management management component of things. But yeah, Jason and I we're so DIY. Like, it's like we come up with an idea, we're like, we should do this, and then we'll set the wheels in motion. So I think like the the confidence in making those decisions came from like me studying that.
Yeah, that's cool.
And his experience, because he had so much experience in the music industry before we even started our band.
I know you've got that Jonas Brothers connection.
I did. I went out. Yeah, I did a world tour basically, and I mean, it was an invaluable experience. It was amazing, but you can kind of take that because when you're playing an arena, you can transfer that to playing a club because basically it's the same experience. You're playing music for one fan, and then that you just multiply that one fan times however many people. But you want to give that same experience. You want to give that arena experience in a club. That was one thing I definitely took away from that.
Does it ever feel like starting over because you've had this experience where you're playing these huge venues and then you start a new band where maybe many people don't know the name, so you kind of have to like rebuild everything?
Yeah, I mean, for me it was fun. It was, like I said, from building it from the beginning, from picking the name, all that stuff. It was a chance to a second chance at doing those things and coming at it from a different perspective. But you're building something really special and standing behind the art and the music and doing things non-traditional. I think is just a lot of fun. Kind of going against the grain is always. Because you meet some resistance or people are like, oh, I'm not sure, but then when you go and do it and you get that reaction is really awesome.
Do you guys have advice for somebody who's trying to break into the music industry because you've both done it multiple times and are successful at it?
Well, the act of breaking into the music industry never stops. Like, it's a constant procession of proving that you're still relevant. I'm still relevant. I'm relevant. Like, at first it's like, hey, I'm relevant right now. Like, notice me for the first time. Then it's like, hey, I'm still relevant. Yeah. I didn't just burn out, So...
You just got to keep going, keep sticking with it, because that's it. And sometimes slow and steady wins a race, but you're always, like you said, you're always proving yourself. So you have to just keep, one step ahead of the curve. From
the live front, it takes years of playing nonstop. It's like you might think you have it down pat. It's just like you have no idea until you've been playing nonstop for years.
What's the craziest thing that's happened on stage?
On stage, I mean,
the chapel.
This
last tour, we improv'd an entire 2 songs because our equipment malfunctioned, and then we kind of just looked at each other. And we were like, just go with it.
Yeah,
we just
an arrangement.
The whole song.
Not really hadn't practiced it.
Yeah, super Portishead rendition of Bees that was not planned. But the craziest thing, I always think the chapel.
Oh, right.
Because we literally, it was a week before San Francisco's Noise Pop this year, they called our agent and were like, do they want to play this Friday night, almost sold out show with this band in San Francisco? We're like, yeah, we'll fly in. So we get there. I literally get off the plane, take a cab, run to the venue. The boys are already on stage, sound checking. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here to sound check. I put my in-ears in, and all of a sudden I hear all this talking. I'm like, what's going on? I'm hearing all these voices in my ears, and they say, the sound guy's like, it's a mortuary. It used to be a mortuary. I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, it used to be a mortuary.
Oh my God.
On stage. I was like, what? And then I'm on stage and I'm hearing people talking in my ears, but it's indecipherable. And it's there's a crowd of 1,000 people, and I'm like, I'm hearing ghost conversations in my ears. And then afterwards, all the backstage people were laughing. They're like, yeah, it's a mortuary.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nonchalant.
Yeah.
Or they're just fucking with you and playing something in your ears while you're on stage.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, the boys were like, we're not hearing that. I don't know what you're hearing.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So 5 years from now, where's the smoke season? What are they doing?
Playing arenas.
I guess that's with this new EP, we're really embarking on a completely, not music-wise artistic direction, but a very ambitious, all-encompassing audio, visual, everything direction. So I think my hope for us is that we'll continue to break tradition.
Okay.
In 5 years from now, hopefully, the scale of our projects gets bigger, but it stays in that unpredictable realm.
That's cool. Is there one artist or band that you guys would say we look at their career and want to emulate that?
I mean, I always go back to Beck because just how he just changes shape and he's very malleable of what he does, but at the same time, it's always distinctly his voice in whatever he does, which I think is really.
I think Beck's a perfect example. I mean, he released an entire album of sheet music and had like these artists, and one of which was like someone who we've had the pleasure of knowing and working with a bunch, but they all played the songs for him.
That's cool.
That's just so brilliant. So really, I love the way he defies notions.
So do we know when we're going to get the new EP?
You will get the new EP over the course of the next 9 months.
Oh, okay. And we have Bees on iTunes and Spotify right now.
That's right.
Thanks for coming in today, guys.
Thanks for having
Anytime.
us.
You want to go ahead and plug your websites and your socials and all that stuff?
Sure, you can find us at smokeseason.com or Facebook /SmokeSeason. And we're Smoke Season Band on Twitter. And keep in touch.
Perfect. Well, thank you, guys. For Gabrielle and Jason, I'm Jason, too. We will see you guys back in here next time.
Thanks, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.